So, a dog riding a skateboard used to just be this fun, cute distraction.
Right, a classic internet moment.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's practically a psychological test because, well, behind that pixelated video of a skateboarding dog rolling across your feed is often this incredibly lucrative, fully automated bot farming economy. And it's designed entirely to just hack your attention.
It really is. It's a whole industry now.
So welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is to equip you with the ultimate toolkit to spot AI-generated photos and videos. We are stripping away the magic trick to look at the exact mechanics of how these models work, where they break down, and, how you can actually spot the seams.
And we really need to look at those seams because the timeline of this technology's evolution is just unlike anything we've ever seen. We're experiencing a fundamental structural shift in how humanity processes visual evidence. So the goal today isn't just to point out glitches, right? It's to give you the practical underlying logic of artificial media. That way you can navigate the internet without feeling, well, constantly manipulated.
Okay, let's unpack this because the rapid evolution here is just staggering. I mean, we've gone from AI generating what we might call charmingly cruddy abstract art to terrifyingly realistic footage in just about 3 years.
Barely 3 years, yeah.
Right. And because of that speed, the public paranoia is completely off the charts. The default human setting online is now essentially just, fake until proven real.
The trust deficit is absolute right now. I mean, we're at a point where genuine, completely real footage is frequently accused of being an AI fabrication just because the viewer doesn't like what they're seeing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that happens all the time now.
It does. Just look at the public reaction to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's March speech about Iran. Within minutes, literally minutes of that footage hitting the internet, massive swaths of users were dissecting the frame rate, claiming it was an AI deepfake.
And just to be clear for the listener, we are strictly looking at the mechanics of the public reaction here. We aren't endorsing any viewpoints.
Exactly. We're stripping away the geopolitics entirely. It's just a perfect case study of how online trust is eroding across the entire political spectrum. It honestly doesn't actually matter who's at the podium anymore. The immediate knee-jerk reaction from the public is just suspicion.
Right, which means if we can't trust our own eyes, we are basically leaving the back door wide open for massive emotional manipulation. So understanding what is real online is just essential so that bots don't play with our emotions.
Yeah, that's the core question. How do we actually spot the fakes before they get to us?
But before we even get into the visual tells like how to look at a video and know it's fake, we have to talk about why your feed is suddenly a complete minefield of this stuff. It feels like overnight the internet just filled up with this synthetic slop.
It did. And to understand how to spot it visually, you first have to understand the distribution network behind it. This isn't just, a few hobbyists playing with new software in their basements anymore.
Right. It's bigger than that.
Much bigger. It is a highly calculated, massive scale business. And the true scale of it is deliberately being hidden from us.
Hidden. Like by the platforms themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Computer scientist Jennifer Goldbach, who tracks AI misinformation, she has been sounding the alarm on what is essentially a massive stats blackout. Since 2022, nearly every major social media platform has systematically shut off researcher access to their internal tracking tools.
So they just closed the blinds.
They turned off the data hose entirely. And the reason is pretty transparent. They do not want the public, or their advertisers for that matter, to know the true ratio of human beings to AI bot activity polluting their sites.
Because if they admitted the real numbers, it would just fundamentally devalue the platform's worth.
Exactly. But if you look at the economics of the platform itself, it becomes incredibly obvious why the bot farmers are thriving. Let's just break down the business model using X, formerly Twitter, as an example.
Okay, let's do the math. So they transitioned to a paid verified model.
Right. A verified premium account costs about $8 a month. Now, if verified accounts get a share of interaction revenue, you don't just buy one account.
You buy thousands.
Precisely. A bot farmer can buy, say, 10,000 accounts. That's an $80,000 investment upfront. Then they use automation software to have these thousands of accounts relentlessly interact with each other's AI-generated posts.
So they just view, share, and comment in this endless closed loop. It's like a massive digital counterfeit ring where the currency is your attention.
That's a great way to put it. They trick the algorithm into pushing their AI slop to real people. And if they make more than that, $8 in interaction revenue per account, it's just pure profit.
But what if they aren't trying to make money? What about political manipulation?
That's where it gets really dangerous. Fake news and synthetic media spread significantly faster than real news.
Why?
Why? Because algorithms heavily weight engagement, and nothing drives engagement quite like intense emotions.
Right. Anger, sadness, outrage.
Exactly. These networks prey on that. Jerry Carrasco, an expert in debunking this stuff, points out some glaring red flags at the account level that you should look out for. First, brand new profiles with zero history suddenly going instantly viral.
That's always suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or accounts that post 24/7. No human doesn't sleep. And another huge red flag is an account posting the exact same concept over and over again.
Like just variations of the same fake image.
Right. That's the result of feeding the exact same prompt to an AI generator 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
They're just offloading inventory.
Okay, so now that we know who is flooding our feeds and why, how do we actually catch them in the act visually? Since these networks are mass-producing videos, they must be cutting corners.
They definitely are. AI struggles terribly with motion. So video artifacts are your very first line of defense.
Okay, I'm thinking back to that massive viral video from last year, the security camera footage of the bunnies on a trampoline. Do you remember that?
Oh, absolutely. Millions of people were tricked by that.
I mean, I remember watching it and thinking it looked totally real at first. But when you actually looked closer, the laws of physics just completely broke down.
Right. The predictive math falls apart. When the rabbits pass each other, they literally melt into each other. One just disappears entirely. Another does this physically impossible instant 180-degree turn.
Yeah, their anatomy just turns to mush. But wait, everyone has an HD smartphone camera in their pocket today. Why do so many AI videos look like they were filmed on a potato?
Well, it's actually intentional. It's known as the blur tactic. Disinformation creators intentionally use low-quality, pixelated, video-like fake porch cams or, that viral clip of two strangers meeting on a subway to hide the physics glitches.
Oh, so the bad quality gives the glitches an alibi. Your brain just excuses the melting limbs because the video is blurry.
Exactly. But even with the blur tactic, AI completely fails at rigid mechanics. Text is a huge one, or analog clocks. The numbers will be out of order, or the hands will move at impossible speeds.
Right. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, though. Because it's not just the visual rendering that gives it away. It's the audio.
Yes. AI struggles massively to generate text, video, and audio all at the exact same time. It's just too computationally heavy.
Which leads to what Jeremy Carrasco calls the AI accent. I hear this on TikTok constantly. It's this unnaturally wired, high-energy voice.
That's the one. It always sounds like it's urgently promoting something. The AI can mimic a voice, but it fails at breath control. So you get these strange echoes, fading accents, and there are no natural micropauses for breath.
And the script writing itself is usually terrible, too. It relies on these cliched tropes, right? Like constantly grouping items in threes or using weird ad speak.
Yes, exactly. And that brings us to your most powerful tool, the common sense test.
Yeah.
Just look at the recent synthetic video of Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise fighting.
Oh, yeah. Visually, that was great. The voices were incredibly accurate, too.
But the premise was absurd. In the video, Brad Pitt's AI clone was aggressively defending Jeffrey Epstein. You just have to use common sense there. Would an image-conscious celebrity ever actually say that?
Definitely not. Context over pixels. That's a great rule.
Yeah.
But okay, while videos struggle with motion and audio, we really need to talk about still photos. Because AI photos have improved by light years.
They really have. What's fascinating here is that their biggest flaw is actually their perfection.
Perfection. Like, they look too good.
Exactly. These AI generators are likely trained on massive data sets of heavily edited influencer selfies. So the humans they generate have no pores, no blemishes, no stray hairs. The lighting is always professional. They have this uncanny ethereal glow.
It's basically like looking at a high-budget TV commercial instead of reality.
Wow.
I mean, my kitchen lighting is terrible, but in these photos, everyone looks like a movie star.
Right. And to maintain that perfection, the models overuse a shallow depth of field. We called it the portrait mode trap. They blur out the entire background to hide the fact that they can't render complex environments.
Like that controversial fake AI influencer, Anna Zilu.
Yes, perfect example. If you look at her working out, she is in crystal clear focus, but the entire gym behind her is just a blurry wash of colors.
But what if the background is actually in focus? What do we look for then?
Then you look for spatial chaos. Goldbeck has great advice for background checks here. You look for smudged faces in crowds, melting limbs fusing into furniture, wonky architecture, Look for paths that just lead nowhere.
Because the AI doesn't actually understand 3D space, it just predicts patterns.
Exactly. Look at a generated kitchen. Are the cabinet knobs perfectly aligned? Are there handles randomly placed on the glass of the oven door?
That is so eerie. It's like a dream where the logic just falls apart when you look closely.
But this leads us into some seriously dark territory. Because what if the background spatial geometry is perfect? What if the kitchen cabinets make sense because the underlying video is mostly real?
Yeah, now we are talking about deepfakes, and this is a much deeper threat. Right, because with a deepfake, it's real video, just a swapped face, so there are no physics glitches in the background.
Exactly. And the applications have been devastating.
Yeah.
Look at the disturbing trend from 2024 and 2025, where students were making non-consensual pornography of their classmates.
It's awful.
It is. And then posters on X use the Grok AI tool, similarly early this year, in 2026. The accessibility of this tech is a huge problem.
So if the background is perfect, how do we spot them?
Carrasco advises looking for digital artifacts. Look for unnatural blur or flickering pixels strictly around the perimeter of the face, especially when the subject moves fast or an object passes over their face. The tracking algorithm struggles, and the mask slips.
Okay, but do bad actors even need advanced AI to manipulate us? What about cheap tricks?
That is such a vital point. We can't ignore low-tech fakes. Think back to the 2019 viral video of Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi.
Right, and again, for the listener, we are just looking at this impartially as a factual example of low-tech political manipulation. We aren't taking sides here.
Absolutely. The mechanics of the trick are what matter. There was zero AI in that video. It was simply slowed down by 25%.
Yep, they literally just changed the playback speed.
That's it. It elongated her words and lowered the pitch, making her sound drunk or impaired. It's a reminder that editing pauses, or simply removing context, can be just as deceptive as the most advanced AI.
So what does this all mean for the future? Is it just going to get worse?
The tech is rapidly improving, there's no denying that. Think about the crude AI videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti from just 3 years ago.
Oh man, that was terrifying, but clearly fake.
Right. And compare that to the slick, hyper-realistic videos of today. Disinformation specialists have the funds, open source models are totally free, the platforms do very little to stop it, and honestly, government action seems pretty unlikely right now.
Which means the defense is entirely on you, the listener. The most actionable advice we have is to get off algorithm-driven platforms like Facebook, X, TikTok, and Instagram. Or, at the very least, highly curate your feeds. Stick to trusted sources and actively look out for all the red flags we discussed today.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, taking a few minutes to prove someone isn't peddling AI slop will save you a lot of brain cells later.
Totally. But I want to leave you with one final lingering question to ponder. If open source AI tools eventually become so flawless that not even a forensic computer scientist can spot a flickering pixel or a melting background, will we eventually have to treat all digital media as fiction until proven otherwise? And if seeing is believing is no longer true, what exactly happens to our shared sense of reality?
That is the big question we're all going to have to face.
Definitely. Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.